A few weeks ago, we included a survey in our Friday debrief, simply asking folks to answer a few questions about aluminum bike frames. And while the results weren't actually too surprising, the comments we received afterwards definitely stoked the fire on this topic. So, in this video, I'm going to dive a little deeper into the state of aluminum bikes. Are they really as harsh as some people claim? Is aluminum as strong as other materials? Does it fatigue more than steel? Is it just marketing hype pushing riders towards pricier options like steel, carbon, or titanium? There is a lot to unpack. Let's dive right into it. All right, so I'm at the in-laws here, so definitely a different setting. Hopefully the light is adequate enough, but if it's not, well, it's not really about the lighting, is it? No. All right, so I've been riding and testing all different types of bikes since I started cycling for fun back in 2010, and much more so since I started reviewing bikes for this channel for almost 5 years ago now. Like many riders, my first bike was aluminum, a Trek Fuel EX5 that I picked up in 2011. It was probably the most affordable full suspension bike I could find at the time, and after riding it actually for a full year, well, I was hooked. But consumerism got the best of me, and the following year I ended up upgrading to the same bike but in carbon, the Trek Fuel EX 9.8, which, well, became my go-to bike for years. So looking back, I can't actually say for certain if the frame material made a huge difference or not. The carbon bike certainly had better components, especially the suspension, and it was much lighter, which made it, I guess, more enjoyable to ride. But did I really need to spend nearly twice as much for a carbon frame? All right, so before we dive into that question, I do want to let everybody know that this video is supported in part by Salsa Cycles. Salsa is adventure by bike. Salsa offers a range of mountain bikes, gravel bikes, all-road bikes, and fat tire bikes, all thoughtfully designed to enrich and enhance your cycling experience. Salsa truly understands the transformative power of adventure by bike, and their bikes are thoughtfully designed with that in mind. So, to discover a little bit more about their products, visit the card in the top right corner here, or else follow the link in the description below. All right, so before I get into the survey results, let's just discuss the common kind of generalizations and characteristics of the four main frame materials to kind of set the stage. So aluminum is well known for being lightweight and budget friendly, and is often considered a harsher, less comfortable ride due to its limited flex and lack of vibration damping qualities. Still, many enjoy its stiffness and responsive nature, and it doesn't rust, and there are loads of aluminum bikes to choose from in the marketplace that are generally less expensive than others. Often more expensive than aluminum, steel is another popular frame material. Steel is known for providing a smooth, compliant ride because it has more give than aluminum. It's also very durable, but can be significantly heavier, though this can be offset with high-quality tube sets like Reynolds 853 and Columbus Spirit. It's considered more durable and reliable than aluminum, but we've all heard steel is real, despite having the risk of corroding over time if not treated. So over the last decade, carbon fiber has come a really long way. It's highly tunable and versatile, allowing manufacturers to adjust thickness and stiffness in different areas of the frame, achieving an optimal strength to weight ratio not found on metal bikes. And while prices have come down somewhat, carbon is still fairly expensive and can be often difficult to repair if damaged. Sometimes called the magic bike material, titanium blends comfort and durability, offering the suppleness of steel and the liveliness of carbon in a lightweight, corrosion-resistant package. It's typically more expensive than other materials, but can be worth it for those who value performance and longevity. So ultimately, choosing one material over another often depends on personal preference and budget. And while this overview is a good starting point, ride quality can vary significantly from bike to bike, depending on variables that we will touch on soon. So a few weeks ago, we asked our BIKEPACKING.com audience to answer 4 questions, and over 1,600 people participated, providing a legitimate sampling of opinions. So the first question was, do you currently own an aluminum bike? And the majority, 61.8%, said yes, while 31.2% said no. This makes sense, especially since many entry-level or mid-level bikes or more affordable bikes are aluminum. It also shows just how common aluminum bikes are out there, and if that's what it takes to get more folks on bikes, well, I'm totally for it. So the next question was, what's your preferred frame material? Here's where things got a little bit more interesting, showing the wants from our readership. Steel won out with over half of the votes at 58%, followed by titanium at 19.9%, aluminum at 11.2%, and carbon close behind at 11%. It's clear that for at least our audience, metal is the preferred choice, but there is a certain allure of steel and titanium. For the third question, we asked what's the main reason you own or at least plan on buying an aluminum bike. So over half, 57.1%, said it's because of the lower price. Another 22.7% liked aluminum for its specific material qualities, while the remaining 20.2% cited aluminum's lighter weight compared to steel. If nothing else, the overall perception of aluminum to our readership is that, well, aluminum is a more affordable option than other bikes available. So the final question asked was how likely people are to buy an aluminum bike in the next year. An overwhelming 58.9% said they are unlikely to buy one. 30.4% said there is about a 50% chance, and then 10.7% said they are likely to purchase an aluminum frame in the next year. So while that 10% might not sound like a lot, that's still around 171 people planning to buy a new bike. If the average price of, say, a new aluminum bike is $1,500 USD, that's $256,500 in aluminum bike sales. Not a massive amount, but adding just say 15% of that 50-50 category would definitely double or more than double that number. So that's not insignificant. All right, so while none of this is especially surprising, you can definitely see a trend here in our little niche market. People clearly prefer metal bikes, with steel hitting a nice balance of price and durability. I also think that the aesthetic of steel bikes is a big selling point. Slender, streamlined tubes with candy color paint jobs. But aluminum still has a strong place in the market, despite most folks thinking it's strictly a budget bike material. I mean, if you think about it, can aluminum be that bad if the majority of folks in our survey own one? And maybe some of those bikes were a means into the cycling world. Do we really think that aluminum is simply a gateway frame material to bigger and better things? After speaking with several industry professionals and engineers, it's clear that while every bike is unique, we've developed a somewhat standardized approach to aluminum frames over the years. Aluminum frames evolved from wet noodles to, as bike industry engineer Sean Malin puts it, lightweight, large diameter, thin-walled tubes that dented easily and rode like they booked you an appointment with a chiropractor. Today's aluminum frames have come a long way, offering a good balance of performance and comfort. However, aluminum frames often still feel stiffer than steel because aluminum isn't as strong as steel, requiring larger tubing to ensure proper strength. This larger tubing contributes to a stiffer, sometimes harsher ride. Steel, being inherently stronger, can use smaller tubes to achieve the same strength, which adds compliance and a smoother feel. Now, of course, that's not the full story here. As Sean also points out, materials have different damping capacities, with steel being up to 100 times better at absorbing vibrations than aluminum. While damping capacity influences ride feel, other factors like tube shape, thickness, and length often have an even greater impact. It's a complex equation, and Sean actually has helped us dive into these details in a future published article, which will be linked in the description below and also added to a card right here when published. Another advantage Sean mentions is aluminum's versatility. It's easily manipulated into various tube shapes through mechanical forming and hydroforming, more so than other materials. So when you combine that flexibility with aluminum's lightweight properties and competitive price, it's easy to see why it remains a sensible option for both manufacturers and consumers. All right, so reflecting on my experience, I wonder if upgrading from an aluminum bike to a carbon one those years ago was even necessary. The carbon bike certainly came with higher end components, which improved the ride in some ways, but did I really need to make the jump in frame material? Or better yet here, could I feel the difference being such a new rider? Likely not. As Sean notes, considering weight, strength, desired features, manufacturability, and sustainability, I think aluminum is the best material available. You have to do your homework, but you can make a lightweight bike that still rides very well. So, is there some marketing fluff in the way different materials are portrayed? Possibly. It may also be the industry not fully investing in aluminum's potential, possibly viewing it as a lost cause. Perhaps carbon is better suited for those fine-tuned adjustments. That could change, however. The new specialized chisel we reviewed recently is a really good example of that. Either way, I find this topic absolutely fascinating, and it raises questions about where aluminum bikes fit in today's market. So what do you all think about aluminum bikes? Do you own one, and will you be buying one in the future? Let me know in the comment section below. As always, thank you all so much for watching, and if you like what you saw in this video and want to see a little bit more like it, please hit that subscribe button and notification bell. And if you want to help support everything we're doing here on this YouTube channel at BIKEPACKING.com, you can do so by signing up for the Bikepacking Collective. The Collective offers a lot of awesome perks, including industry discounts, monthly giveaways, and the twice yearly Bikepacking Journal. So to learn a little bit more about the Bikepacking Collective, you can click on the card in the top right corner or else follow the link in the description below. As always, thank you all so much for watching, and until next time, paddle further.